Some of the largest ships in the world are so giant that you can't even grasp how big they are really. Cruise ships, Baker's aircraft carries beers so massive that they are comparable to the world's tallest buildings. If they were on the their size, such as Empire State Building, the Sears Towers, the Burj Khalifa, and the Petronas Towers. Many people think that Titanic was one of the biggest ships in the history, but despite its name, the Titanic is tiny compared to today's the largest ships. Let's take a look at the 10 of the most insane largest boat in the world today. RMS Queen Mary 2. The RMS Queen Mary 2 is the largest ocean liner ever built. The flagship on the Cunard Line as its only passenger ship operating as an ocean liner. It was designed for routine crossing the Atlantic, replacing the aging Queen Elizabeth II. Queen Mary 2 is not a steamship like a predecessor, but instead is powered by four diesel engines, making it much faster than other cruise ships with a top speed of 35 miles per hour. Some of Queen Mary 2's facilities include 15 restaurants and bars, swimming pool to which are outdoors, a casino, a ballroom, a theater, and the first ever planetarium at the sea. The ship's promenade is protected by a large screen which allows passengers to be completely protected from high winds, a 20-30-foot stroll. Sea-Wise Giant, built in 1979 in Japan. The Sea-Wise Giant was the longest ship ever built, prior to its decommission in 2009. It was longer than the height of many of the world's tallest buildings, including the Empire State Building in New York and the Petronas Towers in Kuala Lumpur. It about 1500 feet long. The vessel had been bought and sold and repurposed several times during its long lifetime. As a result, it had been known by no less than five different names: Sea-Wise Giant, Happy Giant Yarn, Viking Knock, Nevis, and Moss. The Sea-Wise Giant was built by Sumitomo Heavy Industries Limited at their shipyard in Japan. About 10 years later, during an Air Force attack in the Persian Gulf during the Iran-Iraq War, the ship was severely damaged from the oil fires and it sank despite the fact that it was ship declared a total loss was written off. The wreckage was salvaged down to Singapore and rebuilt. It was put back in action, having been renamed by Happy Giant. In 1991, the ship was bought by Norwegian shipowner Jørgen Jaren. He paid $39 million for it and named it UR Viking. From 1991 to 2004, it operated under Norwegian control before it headed back to the Persian Gulf after being purchased yet again. There was renamed Not Nevis and became a permanently docked storage tanker. Davis was sold once more and its new owners reflect the vessel to Sierra Leone. It was renamed Mons and embarked to its final voyage to India in 2009, where it was intentionally pitched and scrapped. The 36 onshore was saved and sent to the Hong Kong Maritime Museum for exhibition. TI-class supertankers. The largest oil tankers currently operating, there are TI-class supertankers built in 2002. TI refers to Tankers International. These vessels are the largest of the oil tankers category called ULCC, ultra-large crude carriers, and there were the cool $120 million in 2002. Four of these massive tankers were built by Daewoo Shipbuilding and Marine Engineering Company in South Korea. They were originally named as Hellesport Alhambra, Hellesport Fairfax, Hellesport Metropolis, and Hellesport Tara. They were about 1,200 feet long, just shy of the size of the Sea-Wise Giant. In 2004, Overseas Shipholding Group bought two of them, Hellesport Fairfax and the Hellesport Tara, and renamed them in TI Oceania and TR Africa respectively. They were both headed to the South Pacific, where they were flagged to the Marshall Islands. They had a Belgian shipowner purchased the other two, LS Port Alhambra and LS Port Metropolis, and renamed them TI Asia and TI Europe respectively. They both headed off to Europe and were flagged for Belgium, and these two are still operating today. But in 2010, TIA Asia and TIA Africa met the same fate as their former seawise giant, and we both converted into oil storage vessels. Because of their massive size, of these tankers can't enter ports to one low. Instead, they have to offload cargo oil entirely directly to as smaller oil vessels or to offshore platforms. The smaller vessels located the oil TIs don't through the Panama Channel, nor the Suez can enter. Their journeys are typically very long since they are not exactly built for speed, and they are usually at the sea for more than 2 months at a time, months at a time. Myers Triple E class. Myers container ships are a common sight for anyone who lives near or travels by port. The most Triple E class was the world's largest version of a container ship at the time it was built in 2011. Triple E and Triple E class standards for economy of scale, energy efficient, and environmentally improved. When you see a nurse container ship and its Johnny next Miller logo, you also see piles of containers upon piles of containers. 23 rows of containers can fit across the bed of the ship, and they pile up to 10i with a capacity of 18,000 containers in total. When sailing across the ocean, the speed of 25.5 knots make it one of the fastest of its type of vessels in the world. It is powered by impressive twin diesel engine designed, and engine alone weighs 2,300 tons. CSCL Globe. The CSCL Globe, built in 2014, is the largest container ship in the world. Taking the place of the Maersk Triple E class, the CSCL Globe is the first of 5 identical container ships to be built at the Hyundai Heavy Industries shipyard in Busan, South Korea. These are the biggest container ships in the world. TL Globe is 1,200 feet long, 200 feet wide, and the depth of 100 feet. The large container ship is equivalent to the size of the 4 football fields. It has a deadweight of 184,605 tons and a cargo handling capacity of 187,541 tons. That means it can be hold 191,020-foot containers for 1,000 more than the Mercer Triple E class. The vessel's propulsion system includes the biggest engine ever built, a state-of-the-art stroke engine built at HCC's engine building division. It can generate 69,720 kilowatts of power at 84 rotations per minute. The Oasis of the Seas. The giant luxury cruise ship is the part of the Royal Caribbean fleet, is one of the biggest cruise ships in the world, at a closet 1,200 feet long, 250 feet wide, weighing at more than 225,000 tons. Cruise goers will fight anti-index and will use the ship's 24 elevators to get around. The ship can accommodate almost 7,000 guests in 2,742 staterooms, and the crew totals 2,100 people. The ship has so much to offer at the guests that there is no reason for them to even disembark at the destination. The ship itself is a vacation. It's basically a float-mat island. The attractions include the Flourish-filled Central Park, to rock climbing walls, 6 whirlpools on the swimming pools, including the impressive Aqua Theater pool, which is 18 feet and is one of the largest pools at the sea. There is even the ice skating rink, a sport court, several spas of fitness centers, and the movie theaters. And if you are bored, you can surf in one of the 2 floor-side surf simulators. After the activity, you can go dine at the one of 20 restaurants with 20 chefs and 222 cooks. Or after hours, there are 11 clubs and bars and 7 retail stores available for anything you may have forgot when to bring on the board. QMAX ships. QMAX monsters are tank ships called LNG, which transport liquefied natural gas. Hence the name. The next ships were built in 2009 by Samsung Heavy Industries in South Korea. There are 14 of the ships built at the same time. Huge stands for guitar and max for the maximum size of the ship permit as a dock at the LNG terminals in Qatar. The LNG carrier design and features 4 or 6 tanks located the longest such a line of the vessel holding 266,000 cubic meters of LNG. The first trip IAQ-MAX tankers was completed the same year it was built, traveling to the port of Bilbao, Spain. He didn't transited the Suez Canal for the first time, a feat not possible by many of giants from our list. MV Blue Marlin. Imagine these ships are so big that they transport other ships. In order to transport a ship that still isn't ocean ready, or perhaps a damaged warship, or even more a giant oil rig, a massive that's always required, the MV Blue Marlin is an HLC, or Heavy Load Carrier, built in the year 2002 by Dutch company Dockwise. The ship loads its cargo by submerging the deck below the water by way of belly and then raising the cargo by emptying the ballast. The ship has an overall length about 1,300 feet, a dead weight about 560,000 metric tons. It requires a lot of power to transport such heavy things as a main engine output of 12,640 kilowatt, which translates to 17,160 base horsepower. The ship can accommodate a crew of 60. With its 38 cabins, the crew can also stay fit on the board with a fitness room, sauna, and a swimming pool. Russian nuclear icebreaker. A nuclear-powered icebreaker is a ship used in the Northern Sea roads that are covered with ice. The only country built-in nuclear-powered icebreaker is Russia. Nuclear-powered icebreakers are much more powerful than their diesel engine compares, and even though nuclear propulsion is expensive to build, installed, and maintain, they are much more efficient than diesel propulsion ships. Diesel engines have a limited range before they need to refuel, and the difficulty to refill in an Arctic region makes the diesel vessels less practical and economical for ice breaking. The nuclear-powered vessels eliminated the need to refuel. During the winter, the ice along the Northern Sea Road can be up to 7 feet thick, and the Arctic oceans can be up HP thick. The nuclear-powered icebreaker can force through that thick peaks at 12 miles per hour, and nice 50 ships can go twice the fast. Planet Solar. The polar opposite put intended of the Russian nuclear-powered icebreaker is the MS turret of Planet Solar, known simply as Planet Solar. It is the largest solar-powered boat in the world. Launched in March 2010, it's top futuristic-looking catamaran-style boat with 2 hulls. The 100-ton ship needs a massive solar array to capture enough energy to push itself through the ocean. About 5,500 square feet of photovoltaic cells charge almost 9 tons of lithium-ion batteries on board. There are stores inside the 2 hulls. 2 years after it launched, it became the first solar-powered vehicle ever to circumnavigate the Earth. The aim of this slot was the focus on public awareness of the importance to renewable energy for environmental protection for the future. We hope you enjoyed this video, and we want to know which is your favorite of these giant vessels. Let us know in the comments. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, share, click the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you will be first to know. Thanks for watching, and we will see you next time.